Let me ask you something most dads never think about. Do you know how long you have to legally register your baby's birth? Most men don't. And when you're running on 2 hours of sleep with a newborn in the house, paperwork? Well, it's going to be the last thing on your mind. But missing these deadlines, well, it can delay benefits, cause unnecessary stress, and add pressure to your partner when she's already dealing with recovery, hormones, and a newborn. This episode might not be glamorous, but it's one of the smartest ways that you can step up as a dad before baby even arrives. Because leadership in fatherhood doesn't just show up in the emotional moments. Sometimes it shows up in the paperwork. You're not just expecting a baby, you're becoming a father, and there's a difference. Most men don't realise this until it's too late. They wait, they stay quiet, they assume that they'll figure it all out when baby arrives. And then one day, they're exhausted, disconnected, and wondering how they became a passenger in their own family. This series exists to stop that from happening. I'm Aidan, founder of the Modern Fatherhood Club and dad of 2. I've lived the mistakes, I've carried the pressure, and I know exactly what it costs when fathers don't prepare. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. It's about understanding your role early so you don't spend the next 5 years trying to repair it. Every episode in this series is going to give you clarity, perspective, and one thing you can actually do right now to show up better for your partner and for your child. This series is built for you. No fluff, no lectures, just clear tactical advice based on real experience. Fatherhood isn't a role, it's a responsibility, and it starts now. All right, let's dive in. Like I said, this isn't the glamorous side of fatherhood. No late night cuddles, no first smiles, no first step stories. This is the behind the scenes work that quietly holds everything together. And if you handle it well, you remove an enormous amount of stress from your partner during one of the most intense periods of her life. Right now, she's navigating physical recovery, hormones, sleep deprivation, and the emotional adjustment of becoming mum. You have a unique opportunity here. You can take ownership of the practical side of things. And trust me, that matters more than you think. In this episode, we're talking about registering your baby's birth, understanding child benefit, and taking responsibility for the paperwork that comes with becoming parents. It might sound simple, but when you handle this stuff early and with intention, it saves stress, avoids delays, and shows your partner you're truly in this together. Because fatherhood isn't just about emotional support, it's about taking responsibility for those things that lighten her load. Once your baby arrives, a few legal and administrative tasks need to happen fairly quickly. First, the birth must be registered. Here in the UK, you have 42 days to register your baby's birth. Second, you might be eligible to claim child benefit, which can provide important financial support and long-term administrative benefits for your child. These tasks, well, they might not feel urgent in the moment, but getting ahead of them now means you're not going to be scrambling later. Let's be honest, admin is the last thing anyone wants to deal with when there's a newborn in the house. You're sleep deprived, your routine is upside down, and every ounce of energy is focused on keeping this tiny human alive. But here's the problem. These responsibilities, well, they have deadlines. If you miss them, It can delay birth certificates, child benefit payments, and even future entitlements like national insurance numbers. And if you assume your partner, she's going to probably sort it out, you might be adding more pressure to someone who is already stretched beyond her limits. So this is one of the few areas of early parenthood where you can really step in with absolute clarity. Because you don't need years of experience. You don't need special instincts. You just need to be organised and proactive. Leadership here looks like this. It's understanding what's required to register the birth, gathering the documents before you need them, and understanding the child benefit process, as well as keeping your partner informed so that she doesn't have to carry this mental load alone. Now, these might feel like small things, right? But they demonstrate something incredibly important: responsibility. Let's walk through the basics. Registering the birth, well, you've got 42 days to get it done in England, Wales, or Northern Ireland. You'll need the following details: your baby's name, sex, date and place of birth, parents' names and addresses, parents' birthplaces and birth dates, mother's maiden name, parents' occupations, and if applicable, your marriage or civil partnership details. Now, the documents to bring with you: one form of identification, proof of address, marriage or civil partnership certificate if applicable, and sometimes baby's red book. So who can register birth? Well, if you're married or in a civil partnership, either parent can register the birth. If you're unmarried, both parents may need to attend together or complete additional paperwork. Now, when it comes to birth certificates, you can order two different versions: short versions, which is the basic details, or full certificates, including parents. And both copies usually cost around £11. And trust me, order a few copies because you'll use them more than you expect. Now, child benefit is a government payment designed to support families. Currently, the weekly rates are approximately £24 for your first child and £15.90 for each additional one. But the benefits, they go beyond the money. Claiming also provides national insurance credits and ensures your child automatically receives a national insurance number before they turn 16. Now, if you earn over $50,000 a year, you may need to repay some of the benefit through the high income child benefit charge. But even then, claiming can still be beneficial because of the credits. So before the baby arrives, ask yourself a few simple questions. Am I clear on how to register the birth? Have I gathered all the documents that I need? And do I understand whether we're eligible for child benefit? And importantly, am I actively removing pressure from my partner or unintentionally adding to it? Now, these questions might feel small, but answering them now makes life so much easier. So taking responsibility for these administrative tasks, now it might not feel exciting, but it's powerful, because when you take care of these details early, you're sending a very clear message. I've got this. You're showing your partner that she's not alone. You're showing your child that their dad is dependable. And you're setting the tone for how you show up today and in the future as their dad. If you take one thing from today, let it be this: take ownership. Be the point person for the paperwork. Don't wait until that last minute. Learn the process and handle the details. Leadership in fatherhood isn't always going to look dramatic. Sometimes it's simple preparation. Because here's the truth: most of us don't realise. The paperwork, it's the easy bit. The real challenge begins when baby arrives and life starts moving at a completely different pace. Sleep disappears, your relationship changes, and suddenly every decision feels bigger. That's what we're going to start unpacking in the future episodes. Now, if this episode hit home, well, that's not by accident. Fatherhood has a way of surfacing the things that we've been avoiding. The pressure, the fear, the expectation. The difference between dads who grow into the role and dads who burn out under it. It's support and awareness. If you want ongoing support, you can join us at themodernfatherhoodclub.com. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe so you don't miss any of our future episodes. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, follow the show. And look, if you know another dad who's going to benefit from these conversations, please share the episode with him. Because that's how this spreads, one honest conversation at a time. Before you go, please answer this in the comments. What are you going to take away from today, and what administrative tasks are you going to take on to lighten the load for her? Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.